Hey guys, hope you're all well and enjoying lockdown and all staying safe. Doing a bit of a different video today because Rosie's on a day off and I'm on a day off because I'm knackered. So yeah, I thought I'd do a different video today as I've had a few people on social media message me and ask a few questions. So I thought I'd do a bit of a question and answer video today. So the first question, sorry, I've had to write them down because there's quite a few. So today's main question is, how did you get into horses? So I got into horses when I was younger, as most people do. I started riding when I was, oh God, I don't know, I can't remember. And when I was about 10, 12, maybe 13, something like that, I started doing like stable management courses and learning how to look after horses and the basic care and basic riding skills and things like that really. So I did a few courses and yeah, it was alright. And then when I was 15, 16, I came out of horses because I wanted to pursue my career in hairdressing. So at the time I was already working in a salon as a Saturday boy, as you do back in the day. So I was doing that and then I gave it up for a few years. And then when I was early 20s, I had a horse on loan briefly, but that was a bit of a one of them. So then I brought Rosie when she was younger, so it was early 20s, and then I've been riding ever since, really. So yeah, so that probably answers the question of how did you get into horses, and also somebody asked me, how long have you been riding? So in terms of riding, probably most of my life really. I've only really been doing the competition riding, I suppose, and the training the last couple of years. So when Rosie was 3.5, maybe 4, we went on to a competition yard, I suppose, with obviously more facilities. Also full livery yard, so because I was working flat out and full time, so it meant that I could go, obviously ride. I didn't have to do all of the basic care, but I could still ride, and obviously we've got the facilities of like jump field and lunge pen and a big school with mirrors, and so it's all nice and fabulous, you know. But yeah, so I moved her there. So and then yeah, so in terms of the main riding that I'm doing now, yeah, I suppose a few years. But we had a few issues with Rosie when we first brought her, because she was sold to us as a 3-year-old, and as most horsey people will know, that not everybody tells the truth. So basically she was a lot younger, so I had a few more years bonding and taking the time to get to know her. So, and she was kind of broken in a little bit early, but yeah, but I'm glad I've done what I've done, and she's fully sound. I've never had any problems with her, and I'm very, very lucky that I can do the things that I do with her. So the next question is, why have you set up an equestrian brand? So that's it's a big question, really. So as in a previous video, in the last lockdown, well, what was it, October, November, I was very, very bored. I couldn't work, so I decided to fulfill my dream of setting up, well, one, another business, and two, an equestrian brand, because being a male rider, there isn't many clothes out there. There are a few brands, and there's a few luxury brands, there's a few cheaper brands and things like that, but there's nothing that I would say I could wear one thing, or I could wear another thing, or I could basically, I wanted something quite versatile, basically, and I set up the brand with the vision of creating a brand that basically, if I wanted to go, I don't know, train at the gym, but then I wanted to go and, ride my horse after, or if I wanted to go shopping, or if I wanted to then go and ride my horse, or I just wanted something quite versatile. So basically, you could wear it wherever. So I felt comfortable down the yard, I felt comfortable riding, and also I felt comfortable if I was out in the street. So yeah, I made this brand, created this brand, sorry, with the vision of creating a brand that was very, very versatile, that it would cater for everybody. And also I wanted something that basically wasn't too expensive. I didn't want something that was too flashy coloured or too... I wanted something quite classy, something that was catered for everybody. So I created this brand with the vision of, I'm going to wear it. We've had a few... obviously people purchase the items and they're loving it, and we've had great feedback, and people are riding in it, and they're wearing it out and about. And we've got one customer that is somebody that we obviously know through work and things like that, and they're not equestrian at all, but they absolutely love it. So how I look at it as is, it's a name. You haven't got to be equestrian to wear it. Obviously most equestrian people will wear it because it's got equestrian on, but other than that, it's a brand like every other brand, and it's got a name on, and the products are nice, and the colours are nice, and yeah, it's just one of them really. So yeah, so all good. So the next question, which I have been asked this over so many years, because obviously the name is quite a catchy name, but it's a name that's quite personal to me. So the question is, where does Francis Ashley come from? So Francis Ashley is basically the name of the company that I started back in 2013 with my now husband Jamie. And basically Francis and Ashley are our middle names turned around. So when we started the brand in 2013, obviously the Francis and Ashley brand was a hairdressing brand. It was a brand that was, like I say, very personal to us, and also it was a brand and a name of a brand that was basically it was one of them really. It was personal to us. It was our names. It was something that wasn't something hairdressing or something shop or something this, or it was just a brand, and we never thought anything of it. So then when we first started the brand, we obviously copyrighted the brand, we trademarked and did all the things that all these big companies do. Spent an absolute fortune. Why, I don't know, but I'm glad of it now, but at the time it was hard. So we did set up the Francis and Ashley brand, and yeah, so it's a brand that's personal to us. So we thought, well, why not put it onto the clothing and see what it's like. So basically all we've done is we've taken away the "and", so it doesn't sound like it's obviously the same, but it's slightly different, and it just sounds a little bit more catchy for what we're doing, I suppose. So that's a question that I get asked all the time, and people to this day still don't know obviously where the Francis and Ashley came from, because my name's Ryan and my partner's husband is Jamie, so obviously it's very different. But that's the same with all brands, like why are other brands called what they're called, and where have they come from, and this, that and the other. So that's where the Francis and Ashley brand came from. So then the next question is, what are the clothes like, and also who are they aimed at? So in terms of the clothes, as you can see, I've got one on. So this is one of our new vintage t-shirts. So we've basically taken away the equestrian underneath, so it's a bit more catered for a bit more people, I suppose. We've also got the established date on in the Roman numerals, which, you know, something that, yes, a lot of brands do and things like that, but we thought, well, we'd just do it so it doesn't, you know, we don't want to be plastering 2020 all over our arms. So yeah, so it's something different. And then we've just got the label, as you can see, at the back. Hold on, let me turn around the other way. So yeah, so it's just at the back. So at least people know that it's, you know, from Francis Ashley Equestrian. But yeah, but we wanted a bit of a vintage collection, because obviously vintage clothing is quite a thing, and the feel of it's lovely, and it's all very soft pastel kind of colours. You know, your greys, your creams, your whites, your khakis, you know, things like that. So yeah, so the clothes are lovely, the material's lovely, the fit's amazing. I mean, I struggle with fit because I have the same problem all the time, but basically I wouldn't say I'm massive on the shoulders, but I wouldn't say I'm massive in terms of lengthwise. But yeah, so, but I always like things that are, you know, kind of fitted, but not too like, you know what I mean? So I wanted something that was, you know, moverable. And yeah, so that's great. In terms of who they're aimed at, so obviously in the name, equestrian. So yes, they are aimed at equestrian people. They're also aimed for. We started off just doing it for men, but we had a lot of women ask us. So we now have a women's range. We now have women's clothing. We now have men's clothing, and we've had a few people ask about children. Now we don't do a specific children's range, but we do go down to extra small. So obviously, you know, if it fits, it fits. You can wear it. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So yeah, so basically they're aimed at everybody. They're not just for equestrians. They're not for just gym people, for normal leisure people, whatever. They're aimed for everybody. It's clothes, you know. You can wear clothes how you like. It's whatever. It's just the equestrian side of it. It's just, like I say, it's quite personal to me. It's what I do every day. Yeah, so they're aimed at everybody. Now, the big question is, what does the future hold for Francis Ashley? So somebody asked me the other day, it's somebody that was quite close to me, and I was a bit like, oh, well, I don't know, to be honest, because I set this brand up with no intention at all. I just thought, I'm going to put the name and the branding on a few jumpers and a few t-shirts, and yeah, we'll go with it that way. So, yeah, so in terms of the future, so I'm not giving up hairdressing before anybody asks. So hairdressing is still something that's very personal to me. It's something that I'm good at. It's something that, it's a skill that I've learned. Well, I say a skill that I've learned. I always say you've either got it or you haven't, and because not everybody can do hairdressing. So I'm not giving up hairdressing. I am basically doing this brand because, like I say, it's something that's personal to me. I haven't been able to work for 5 to 6 months this year, which is a big. Anybody that knows me, I work. I don't not work. So it's been a bit of a learning curve for me, really. So the brand is obviously still going to be there. Eventually, you know, who knows what's going to happen? Is it going to be on competition riders? Is it going to be on in shops? Is it going to be worldwide? Who knows? Nobody knows. So my intention is to keep going as I'm doing. If people want to buy the products, that's great, that's amazing. You know, it'll be fantastic. It'd be nice to see the name out there. It'd be nice to see the name on, you know, people that I wouldn't necessarily see that kind of clothing on or things like that. So, so yeah, so basically, who knows? Nobody knows. You know, in this day and age, with obviously all this virus, nobody knew what was going on with the virus. So yeah, so it's going to be one of them, really. So yeah, so nobody knows, but I hope you've liked the video today. I look forward to having, you know, more questions thrown at me and things like that. So, and yeah, more items to show you and you know, things like that. So yeah, if you have any questions or whatever, or you want to message me, I'm on Facebook, so as Ryan Birkinshaw. I'm on Instagram, as Ryan Birkinshaw Dressage. I am on TikTok. I'm new to TikTok. I haven't got a clue, but anyway, we're going with it. So I am on TikTok. Yeah. So again, Ryan Birkinshaw. So it's basically just my name. So if you search for me, Ryan Birkinshaw, it'll come up. If you want to follow us, share us, tell people to share us, that'd be fantastic. Yeah, so just, get the name out there, we'll share, we'll, follow back or follow, social media's, yeah, it's a full-time job. It'll be good. So, and then I look forward to getting more questions, and I suppose I'll see you again for the next crazy video. All right. See you soon. Bye.